on location of your emergency.
Breaking news out of North Idaho. Moscow police are investigating a homicide on King Road.
Is she breathing?
No.
So 5'10", all black. Could you see what color his eyebrows were or anything like that?
No. I don't remember what his eyes look like either.
Officers discovered the bodies of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Maddie Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves, but no weapon has been located at this time.
Arrested. That's 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger in custody today.
The Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Everything is alleged.
Hey, you guys. Are y'all ready for number 2? Oh, my God. This has got to be literally one of the worst of these I've ever seen. It literally has to be one of the worst I have ever seen. Now, I will tell you that if you watch it on Amazon Prime, it lets you record it. I already have both of the episodes recorded. I turned the volume down on my laptop and put it behind me on the coffee cart while it recorded number 2. So I have no idea what it has in here. This is gonna be the first time I'm gonna be watching the damn thing. But I went in and I had to do a free trial for sort of like the way AMC is doing it, where AMC is sort of hosting Sundance on their platform, but it's like a secondary thing. Then they have Prime doing it, and I don't even know what the hell it's called. I don't even honestly give 2 shits that it was called, because it was like going to be $4.99 a month, but they have a 7-day free trial. So I signed up for it. It took 30 seconds. I recorded both episodes and went in and canceled my subscription. Already don't even have to deal with it, but I have both of them recorded and ready. But because they're still in StreamYard and they're not separated, we are going to watch it from, well, I'm going to watch it from the same app that I was watching it from during episode 1, which would be the AMC app. Now, again, just to reiterate here, I cannot play this on the screen. I cannot play audio from it. I did grab my phone and download the app and play a certain piece that was said when the girl said that the sheath was found on Maddie's bed where her and Kaylee were killed. And this is a local reporter sitting here talking shit about people while she's getting so much information wrong. So much information wrong. It's actually crazy. Now, I will also tell you guys, in case you guys haven't seen it yet, I have not listened to this interview. I've known about Accomplished Day having Yessie's interview since like yesterday or this morning. I think we talked about it this morning. I have not had a chance to listen to it. Now, the Yessie girl, I'm going to put a link to her channel here. The Yessie girl is the friend that Dylan, apparently, according to the police reports, said that Dylan told her that she could not drink at the party. Not that she just wasn't gonna, but that she couldn't. So here is the link to the Yessie video, the Yessie interview. I am going to have to wait. I mean, I'm going to wait a few days. We have a lot of interviews that I need to catch up here on this channel. So we went over, who did we go? We go over Caleb's. I don't think we did Sophia's yet. So we have to watch Sophia's. We have to watch Kaylee McConkey's, Tim DeWolf. And then Outcast had Reed Olfshin or Olshin, something like that over there on his. And then Also, the football coach that was part of like the people that Kaylee babysat for, Outcast also had that interview over there. So there's like a lot of interviews. Plus, there's still the one from one of the foreign exchange students that was at WSU that I still haven't had the chance to do over here either. So there's quite a bit. Plus, reports and stuff that we still need to catch on to. So let's go ahead and I'll get started hating my life. That first episode was so bad. Oh my God. That first episode is so bad. So bad. And just in case you are here for this one and missed the first one, again, a local reporter who's talking shit about people on YouTube and social media is saying a lot of crazy shit that's not true. She's saying that the formal that Ethan went to was at Sigma Chi and that Xana was his date. She completely removes Hunga Dunga and completely removes the fact that he was hanging out with his brother and sister at Hunga Dunga at the formal. Instead, she puts them together and groups them into one thing. Then she says again that the knife sheath is found on Kaylee's bed where Maddie and Kaylee were killed. Turns out she is not only a local reporter, but her husband is one of Kaylee's ex-professors. And they went to the crime scene that morning, and her husband tried to urge her to go closer to the house because he wanted to be like at the house. And she apparently said no. The documentary itself is very misleading with the way that it puts images on the screen when officers are saying certain things. Officers are also not being honest about information, particularly Chief Dollinger is not being honest about information. But while they're saying things very vaguely, the Sundance people are inlaying images that portray a different story than what's actually being told, and both of them put together are still not the truth. And we haven't even gotten to Kohberger being arrested yet. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. Again, if you want to watch along, you can get a free trial on AMC or on Amazon. Amazon for me for Prime with the free trial thing, I had no ads. For AMC, even signed up, there's ads. And AMC's little thing is going to be like, if you decide to keep it, it's $7.99 a month. And the one for Amazon is $4.99 a month. And the cheaper one is the one with no ads, which is kind of crazy. Now, also remember that this one is called A College Town Nightmare. This is from AMC Sundance, and it's 2 episodes. The one that Netflix is releasing on the 29th is just called College Nightmare, and it is 4 episodes. So very, very similar titles, not the same thing. Netflix has more information. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press this so you know that we're watching. And I have this right here just so that people can like note, I can't put the thing on the screen. I just can't. I cannot put it on the screen. Like, I will get taken down in this live. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to start episode 2 now, and let's see what the hell they're doing. Instantly starts out with Capital One ad. Just an ad. I probably should have pulled up Prime, but I don't have Prime logged in on this computer. Yeah, in the morning. Well, actually, I don't really know. I don't know if I want to waste another live on this bullshit. Like, I want to go through the video, and then like I'll just do a video in a couple of days, maybe, of all the stupid shit, so I can have all the receipts in it. And instantly, just that disgusting AI photo. Oh my God, that AI photo just severely pisses me off. She's not whining for me, by the way. She's whining for Slade's door is shut. Yeah, his door is shut. It's giving a weird little, like, a rundown. Oh, that's Nye. They have Nye talking in here. Some other girl just said, knowing what he has done, his face scares you. Maybe she is. Wait, hold on. Let me go let Lipsy Bipsy in, because maybe she'll sit on my chair. Hold on. No, she wants in Slade's room. She don't give a shit. She don't want to be in here. I tried. She got about halfway in here and then turned around. She wants to be in Slade's room. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now it's getting into it. It's a different intro than the first one had. Whatever drone footage they have right here is really clear. That AI photo is just so disturbing. Taylor who is this? Taylor who? Taylor Dolezal? I know that you guys have basically said that there was only 2 students in this whole thing, and neither one of them had connections to the victims. So this must be the second one. The first one was a guy named, I think, Taylor or Alex, something like that. Okay, so it's showing the kitchen and some crime scene photos, and she's still talking. They were worried it wasn't going to stop, that it was going to continue. Oh, no, I didn't see it. And if I did see it off like the trailer, I didn't realize until it was bigger in my face on my computer screen that their faces were so messed up. Welcome, Alara. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Thank you. That Laura person's on here. I can't believe how much false information she put in this thing. Here's Dollinger. Doubling down on motivation and drive to focus. Sure. With so much incorrect information. Sure. And if y'all missed the video that I posted earlier, I took the photos from the AI photo that they're using in here, and I did them face by face with the original photo, placed one on top of the other, and then went back and forth on the transparent bar to show their faces, the difference of their faces. That's going to be something that I'm going to post later. But the one that I posted earlier is their faces side by side, and it's just like the way that I put it in the community tab, where their faces are like bigger and you can see. It is disturbing that they are doing that to their picture. I don't care if I sound ridiculous or not. It's disgusting. Dylan's face hasn't been photoshopped. The Bethany's face has not been photoshopped. And I mean, I haven't seen them. They haven't showed Kohberger yet on the thing, but I haven't. We'll see if they Photoshop a picture of him or not. But I know that they're using him on both versions of their thumbnails that they are advertising for on both AMC and Prime. It's 2 different thumbnails, but they both only have him on it. None of the victims, only him on it, which is, I don't know why, but those don't look photoshopped. So I don't know why the hell they would Photoshop just that one picture. It's very strange. Oh, thank you so much for the 1999 Bluebird. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. There's that ex-FBI guy. Following cars, following tips. Labs working DNA, male DNA. Knife sheath that was in the bed with the victims. This is, again, the ex-FBI guy. DNA tested against databases. No match. No match in CODIS. Transfer DNA to IgG. Talking about how the FBI told them about the IgG and how it was good for investigations. This is Blaker saying this. He says, I was put in charge with transporting the DNA sample that we got off the sheath to Houston, Texas, to, he calls it Othram. And remember, we are the ones who did the chain of custody from MPD and the Idaho State Police for this little trip down to Othram. We have quite a bit more information about that. Then he says they still kept investigating the Hyundai Elantra. He knew that it was going to be a newer model, light in color. 10 years is not very new. Almost 10 years. He said he gave them a 6-year gap, anywhere from 2013 to up to maybe 2018. I don't remember anything that says up that high. Looking in the databases for white Hyundai Elantras. Trying to find any in the local area. Asked the university for parking permits, registered local, however he said it, registered owners. The author is now saying now they're putting on a bolo for the white Hyundai Elantra, but that wasn't until early December. He said, the author guy even says that he was writing down license plates. He says that he saw 2 that seemed suspicious, and he went onto the FBI portal and submitted people's license plate numbers. Thousands of tips about the Hyundai Elantra went in. The FBI guy just said, we have 20,000 of them just in Idaho and Eastern Washington. That's the ex-FBI guy. He said technically that makes the suspect pool hundreds of thousands of people. He said, Blaker said they were just hitting a whole stop at that point, and then they were just waiting for the genealogy to go through. And now we got another ad, which again, if you wanted this app, it's $7.99 a month, and it's nothing but ads, which is crazy. Super crazy. Wish these ads would hurry up. They changed his voice on the traffic stop. If it sounds weird, I'll try to pull up the original one, or I will go pull up the original one. Kia ad, come on. Okay, here we go. December 10th, 2022. They're showing what looks like the inside of maybe the Othram Labs, because it looks like it's inside like the building. Strong genome put into 2 databases that Othram had access to, but they couldn't come up with a definitive suspect, but they found certain lineage that potentially could lead you to a potential suspect. If that continued with more investigation, maybe trying to contact more people to see if they could tell them who they were related to and try to build out the family tree, then that would help the investigation further. It was then that the FBI said, well, we have our own genealogy department. I'm really surprised they're mentioning the fact that the FBI did the IGG, considering the way that that court actually went. This is all coming from Blaker. He has a lot of tribal, very Celtic, interesting tattoos on his arm. Old Blaker boy over there. Stuff I never realized before. They found an individual that had a familial resemblance, not the suspect, but somehow tied to or related to the DNA that was found on the sheath. And then they were able to build it down from there and get closer and closer and closer to somebody who they thought maybe the suspect could be, because they can't say 100% definitive that who they find is the suspect just because the DNA is the same. Very high percentage of Italian heritage, above 80% Italian heritage. Okay, we found one person that the mom and the dad both have a high enough Italian heritage that most likely their child would be the actual person. And the couple that they found, the husband and wife, only had one son. So they're trying to pretend that the genealogical tree literally produced Michael and Marianne's names. It did not. It did not. December 20th. So he didn't even mention December 19th. He just skipped through to December 20th, having an IGG meeting with the FBI. Yeah, December 20th. He skipped over the phone call on 12/19. IGG unit with the FBI. So Blaker is literally sitting here saying that as they're sitting down on the 20th, that's when they were given the name Bryan Kohberger. That makes no sense. That's not even true. We have the instant messages between Brett Payne and Pullman, WSU, when they're discussing the situation on 12/19. Blaker just said it happened on the 20th. OMG. That he did. But that was just an article that we couldn't get verified, but that is what we were told. See, yeah, on the 20th. So I have a name for you. That is not how that went down. That is not how that happened. So they're showing Kohberger's old graduation stuff, like where he's fist bumping the guy and taking his diploma. That's what they're showing. And then the hoodie one, regular selfie, WSU stuff. They're showing random selfies from his phone, different year ranges. Now we have a name. Wow, they're playing like all of them. Okay, now they're showing the town. December 20th, 2022. I cannot believe they passed over the 12/19 call. Passed right over it. No, it's showing the memorial again in the exact same way it showed the memorial in the second one. They're doing it the same way again because they're not creative whatsoever. Okay, more pictures of Kohberger saying it could be him. We are not very sure, but we can start looking at this person. 28, Pennsylvania. Graduate student at WSU studying criminology. This is the stupid local lady again. Deeper into the vehicle, we found that he had a white Hyundai Elantra in the 6-year time period we were looking for. There was no 6-year time range. There was no 6-year date range in that internal bolo. The fact that Kohberger's year of his car did not fall into the date range that was released as an internal bolo on 11/27 to Pullman, WSU, and several other departments did not contain the year range that would have included Kohberger's car. That's why it was not turned in. So he can't sit here and be like, oh, they said, 2013 to 2018, and they gave us a 6-year date range. No, they didn't. No, they did not, Blaker. No, they did not. I think this is Jenkins. Yeah, he's saying that he got a text from James Fry asking if he could show up at Moscow PD and talk to them in person. This is what he told us before. He says he walks into the room and there was like 30 more people in there. It was the entire investigative team, and he was the only other law enforcement person in there. There must be footage from inside the police department, like the steps in the cubicles and stuff. Oh, here comes another ad. Here comes another ad. See, I wonder if it didn't send the notifications out like it should have because I posted that video in between. Because this is the third one for the day, and we went live last night, and the live that we did last night posted after midnight. So I don't think this one pushed out like it's supposed to. YouTube is always pulling this stuff. Walking Dead has something else coming out. My God, let the story rest. Okay, so now Jenkins is back, and they said, we have a suspect. He's at WSU. He lives in grad housing. His name is Bryan Kohberger. And we see Brett Payne again having that conversation with somebody from WSU PD in those IMs that Connor released. He said the name rang a bell, but he didn't know why. And then he said, I've talked to Bryan Kohberger before. Chief Jenkins is the one who interviewed Kohberger for the assistantship, researchship, something like that, with the police department, and Kohberger wasn't chosen. I wish that they had that damn whatchamadoodler. I wish they would have gotten kept the interview, but I guess because they didn't hire him, they didn't keep it. He wrote an essay apparently about how small towns don't have resources or the skills, and he wanted to help that, and apparently help them train to get on the level with technology. He said he doesn't really seem like a red flag, nothing to make you think he's going to go out and do something horrible. He was just odd. His personality is a little bit off. Probably can't relate with other people. Weird local lady who gets shit wrong, talking shit again. Jenkins said it was a great decision to select who I selected because she did so good, but then again, it also wasn't Kohberger. No other interaction, but then it comes up again as this. Studying crime. They keep going back to that. Jenkins was asked to be quiet, so he didn't say anything. Very concerned about information leaking. There was a lot of leaking. There sure was a lot of leaking. They knew he was at the Steptoe Apartments. And then Jenkins found out he had a student office on campus. What are they showing here? This looks different. What the hell is this? This is somebody going up the steps at an apartment at WSU, but they went into his apartment at night, and that footage of going upstairs was during the day. I don't know what that was. He said there's nothing in the car. There's nothing in his apartment at all. He wasn't there. His vehicle wasn't there. Okay, that's a lie. Blaker, you fucking liar. Blaker just said his car wasn't there and he wasn't there. We didn't know where he was at this time. They literally broke into the apartment right as he was getting arrested in Pennsylvania. They saw him in the window. They knew exactly where he was. What are you talking about? I can't believe he just said that. That's what that is. It's the coffee house apartments. Somebody said something about that. That when they showed apartments, it wasn't going to be Kohberger's apartments. It was going to be coffee house. Is that what that is? Wow. Wow. Yeah, Blaker just said they went to the apartment. His car wasn't there. He wasn't there. They didn't know where he was. Yes, you did. Y'all literally just did the search warrants. Half of your team was in Pennsylvania getting ready to arrest him. Is this footage? Where's this footage from? Is this Kopacka footage? It shows a cop walking out of a Pullman car, and then here comes the October 14th, 2022 traffic stop. What cop footage was that? Was that from Kopacka? They just showed body cam footage. So they show Kopacka's apartment, and they show body footage from the Kopacka situation. And they're showing it out of order from when anything even happened, because now they're still in October and they're talking about the October 14th traffic stop. What the hell? What the hell? That is wild. Why the hell would they do that? Okay, now we're playing the October traffic stop. Wow. Oh my God. Y'all have to hear this. Y'all have to hear this. Oh my God. They make him sound like freaking Darth Vader. They are making him sound like Darth Vader. Hold on, I gotta call my kid and tell him to get the Walmart order real quick. They make him sound like Darth Vader. I'm gonna see. Well, let me see if it'll let me do this without kicking me out of here. Will it let me? Tell me if you guys can hear it, because I know you can't see it, but tell me if you guys can hear it. Does it show that I'm trying to share audio? I want y'all to hear. This is so bad. All right, tell me if you guys can hear it. If not, I'm going to pull it up on the app. Can y'all hear that? Tell me if y'all could hear what I just played. Okay, y'all couldn't hear it. Okay, so see, and it's ooh. So let me. This is so bad. This is so bad. I knew I should not have deleted the damn app off my phone. They literally make him sound like Darth Vader. No, that was me calling Slade. I had to tell him to go get the groceries. That's the ringing that you heard. I'm gonna play it in the microphone like I did the sheath in the bed for Kaylee clip. This is crazy. Come on, let's go. No, I'm not. Let's go. Oh my God, you crackhead ass phone. Why would they do that? It's not like it's copyrighted material. There's legitimately no reason for them to be putting a Darth Vader filter over Kohberger's voice when he is speaking. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That is so crackadoodle. Hold on, I should never have deleted the damn app. Hold on. Gotta get the password. This is annoying. I cannot believe that they did that. But then I can because of all the other dumb shit that they've already done. I can't believe this. These people put this together and thought that this was a good idea. They thought this was a good idea. Okay, I'm signed in. No, don't save it. Okay.
Washington State University campus for pulling into an intersection.
That's the ex-FBI agent.
Never even occurred to me that was actually something wrong. I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to.
If you're ever curious on any more laws, just RCW, and they can be hard to read because it's in like legal language, but hope that helps.
Definitely.
Have a good day.
You too.
And then at the end, she sounds normal. Y'all heard how he sounded like freaking Darth Vader? What the hell was that? Yeah. What the hell was that? Oh my God. And then at the end, she sounded normal. But yeah, they accidentally filtered the officers too. Fire everyone that worked on this piece of shit. Are we serious? Oh my God. Darth Vader. That's crazy as shit. I don't know. They literally filtered the October 14th, 2022 Pullman traffic stop where he gets pulled over by the female. Did they Photoshop horns on him? I'm surprised they didn't try. I gotta watch this trash. You see what I mean? I accidentally backed out of the damn dashboard because I'm over here like, what the hell's happening? Okay. Yeah, this is the October 14th, 2022 traffic stop. They put some sort of filter on his voice. I don't know for what. Unbelievable. So yeah, and at the end, her voice goes back to normal when she says "Have a good day," but then he still has a filter. So they didn't even mean to do that to the chick's voice. They just suck at freaking editing. Oh my God, I cannot wait to go over the names and the credits because I'm gonna ridicule every single one of you idiots. Oh my God. Oh my God. So the ex-FBI guy is here saying, so the IGG was underway. It's not good enough for probable cause. It has to be a direct DNA match. So we have a name, which is how it has to be treated as a lead. It cannot be used as evidentiary purposes. We have to get a DNA sample. So the FBI man himself is saying this has to be treated as a lead. Not a tip. Not a tip. The ex-FBI agent that worked the case just said them having Bryan Kohberger's name had to be worked as a lead. That's very important. So now we had to locate Bryan Kohberger. We went through the databases and we see that prior to us receiving his name, within days, he had traveled back east from Washington State University, and he was stopped 2 times in Indiana on December 15th, 2022. And they're showing the traffic stop footage of him and his dad. When Kohberger decided to drive home to Pennsylvania, his father flew home and met him there and then drove back with him. That was apparently something pre-planned for pretty much the entire time since he got there in the summer. Mentioning him getting pulled over twice for following too close. It sounds like they've muffled the police officer's voice, but they didn't put a weird filter on it. You already can barely hear Kohberger in these because he's so far back in the video. This girl that's talking is saying that Kohberger was acting weird in the traffic stops, not wanting to make eye contact, and he was acting strange. He's literally staring at the police officer in his face the entire time that he's talking to him. What are you talking about? Yeah, and this is where his dad mentions the shooting situation. Okay, they're showing the house. Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. Six weeks after the murders. Now they've got FBI in Pennsylvania going to the house. The author is now here saying when they got his car, oh my God, this guy's pathetic. This guy is so pathetic. You and your little bald ass head need to shut the frick up. This idiot is saying, the While Idaho Slept dumbass is saying that Kohberger's car was so meticulously clean you couldn't find anything in it. Never mind again that the inventory reports from Pennsylvania have gum wrappers, water bottles, Q-tips, all kinds of trash. Literal trash in that car. Why do they keep lying and saying that it was meticulously cleaned when it was so freaking dirty? Why do they keep to that? It was like it was taken apart, very clean, like it was taken apart, very clearly scrubbed hard. What? What? Then Blaker's here saying, okay, the next steps was to see if we can get DNA from somebody inside the house. It would need to be a positive match or a really close match to the DNA from the knife sheath. The agents in the state police did a trash pull. They're showing a black trash bag and a cop walking up to it, taking the trash. They're saying, when you put your trash on the curb, you're abandoning it. We can take your garbage. We don't need a search warrant, which is true. Went and grabbed the garbage off the front of the house. Took it back to one of the police departments back. Oh my God, what? He just said we took it back to one of the police departments in Pennsylvania and they went through it. We were told it was flown by commercial jet overnight to the Idaho State Police Lab, and we have photographs and dates and them having emails talking about the damn trash bag and Idaho State Police getting that trash bag, Blaker. So get back to one of the police departments there in Pennsylvania where they went through it. We had our investigators on the phone FaceTiming with these other investigators, looking at the evidence to try to pick out what it was that we wanted to try and test that we feel would have the best opportunity to provide us with a DNA sample. So they went in, picked a bunch of different items. Those items were brought to the Idaho State Police. So that's something that we were never told before, as far as I can understand. I don't remember them ever telling us that they took the trash bag to another police department and went through it piece by piece and then only sent off select pieces to the Idaho State Police. That very easily is a way to manipulate whatever the hell is in that trash bag. Why wouldn't you have instantly sealed up that trash bag and sent the trash bag itself to the Idaho State Police with tamper-evident evidence tape and then let them open it? Now you've got another agency digging through it first while y'all are communicating about what's best via FaceTime? That's new to me. That is new to me. Handed it off to the Idaho State Lab. One of the items was a waxy Q-tip. It provided us with a male DNA sample that 100% had to be the father of the suspect. We knew at that point in time that Bryan was at the house. It was his dad's house. So we knew Bryan was the individual that killed the fake AI people that they have on the damn screen here. How disgustingly disrespectful. I swear I'm never going to shut up about that. That is so ridiculous. Every time they show that picture on the screen, it just makes me livid. Like, honestly, it pisses me off. Okay, we're at an ad. This is so horribly done. Like, how can we hear on YouTube people that literally can like stitch videos together on their phones? How do we do a better job being one-man shows than these big, huge companies do putting this shit together? How does that make sense? How does that make any sense? I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. So now I got another ad. About 10 more seconds of an ad. And again, if you already have Amazon Prime and you just sign up for the free trial of whatever it is on there, there's no ads on Amazon Prime to watch this. So now we're on December 30th, 2022, which is the arrest day. They're showing footage of another apartment being looked at that has blinds in the door that has nothing to do with Pennsylvania. They have the one photo of him sitting in his shorts with a hoodie on that we've seen. December 30th, 8 in the morning. The local idiot that gets shit wrong. She says, she gets calls saying, there's a press conference. What do you think it means? She's instantly like, oh my God, they have someone. She gets to City Hall. The cops are there. Everyone's dressed up. Everyone's smiling everywhere. Never seen him happier. She knows what's going on from the tone in the room. Then they announce the arrest. Oh, arrested. See, what is that thing sitting there? I wonder. There's just no way that there's no damn camera footage of this arrest. There's just no way. There's just no way. Huge sigh of relief for the community. It's progress after so much silence. She decides to go out to the corner club that night to see what people are talking about. And she said it felt like New Year's Eve. Everyone is celebrating. Everyone's talking about it. She probably heard all kinds of shit in that bar that night. That Lauren chick. The Tracy Mullenix guy is back. And they're showing the faded black and white picture. That's bullshit. They didn't edit that one. The state edited that one. That's so crazy. Then that girl just came back and said, after knowing what he's done, his face scares you. His eyes really freak her out. They're very wide. Every image and video that I've seen of him, he's just stone-faced. So then they're talking about the extradition. They're showing an airplane, airport area. Is this him, actually? Yeah, this is Operation Turtle Shell. They had a helmet, taking him out of the plane and loading him in the car. Yeah. We have all the information from Operation Turtle Shell. Oh my God, why did you just lie? Blaker just said they're bringing him to us so we could interview them. My dear sir, y'all did not interview Bryan Kohberger unless the people that work in your office are ignorant to truth. There are no interviews between y'all and them. You didn't interview Kohberger. You didn't interview his family. The only people that talked to Bryan Kohberger that have anything to do with the Moscow Police Department, according to your own people, was Brett Payne in Pennsylvania, and not another syllable was uttered between the two of you. At all. And Blaker just said they were bringing him here for us to interview him. That's not true. That's not true. They're bringing him to us so we can interview him. That wave of relief just washed over me like, oh my God, we have him. He can no longer hurt anyone. The excitement was just overwhelming while you're sitting here being stupid. Now, Dollinger is saying here, they initially started having a regular conversation to try to get a baseline for how they speak in their mannerisms. And initially, the suspect was more or less willing to talk about things like schooling and how he had ended up back in Pennsylvania and how he's a WSU student. Kohberger asked the investigators multiple times, what is this all about? Why are we here? What are we talking about? This was back in Pennsylvania. See? Dollinger is describing the Pennsylvania interview, and it's being placed in here right after Blaker just lied and said that he was being brought back for Moscow Police Department to interview him, and that is not true. I cannot believe how they are putting all of this false bullshit in here. Like, this just makes me like want to not even do this anymore, because what's the point? Nothing's going to change. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. Investigators more or less said, we're here to talk to you about an incident that occurred in Moscow, which should tell anybody with a common freaking brain that that means that he's being talked to in Pennsylvania and not in Moscow, like these dumb shits are trying to make it seem like when it's a lie. He never provided them with any answers. We couldn't get a confession from him that he committed the crime outright. So just that reassurance that we do have the right person. Because he didn't confess to it, it reassures you that it's the right person? What? Because he didn't give us any answers, and because he wouldn't confess outright. That proved to me even more that he was the guilty guy. That's insane. That's insane. I can't believe these lies. These are crazy. We learned that he was known to be a bit socially awkward. He seemed to put pressure on people by staring at them. He invaded their space. He cut off rooms so they couldn't exit. If he wanted to know something from you, he would approach and sort of hover. He was not very good in talking with members of the opposite sex. His program allowed him to be a teaching assistant, which is essentially in PhD programs means you're a teacher. He was teaching coursework in criminology and criminal justice. And his students were often creeped out by him, especially the women. That's not technically true. He needs to read the reports. He wasn't successful in establishing relationships. There were many people that came forward to say that he was just a strange individual, very off-putting, who thought very highly of himself. more or less narcissistic, and would be very demeaning to others based off of his level of education versus theirs. He had a lot of interest in people who had committed heinous crimes, serial killers, and the like. Well, so did everybody else in those classes. Ethics, Law, Society, and Capital Punishment, written by Bryan Kohberger. They're talking about one of the papers that he wrote after he sent some surveys out. He said, okay, Blaker is saying that Kohberger sent the surveys to actual killers and asked very specifically, like, how did you feel after you killed them and stuff like that. Now, do we know for sure that he actually sent these off to people in prison, or were these just posted on social media? Because remember when the surveys first were found, there were several different names on the contact information. There was like him, 2 other students, and like whoever the TA was at the time for his class that he... I don't remember them claiming that they actually had any proof that he had sent those surveys off to actual prisons or anything like that. We've only had one weirdo apparently come out and talk to Steve Goncalves, and he told him some story, but we haven't had anybody verify, validate, show any receipts or anything for the majority of all of that. We just have, again, like the Reddit surveys that, again, he wasn't the only person on. He says, I get you're studying these individuals and you're trying to research them. This is Blaker talking. And you're trying to figure out why these people committed these crimes, but it's just odd. At least to me, it was odd that some of his questioning, the way that some of his questioning was worded. His master's degree in Pennsylvania was under Catherine Ramsland, is what he just said, is what this author guy just said. He goes all the way to Washington to get his PhD, and he's studying serial killers. And the murders happened in Moscow. Yeah, there's people that are studying serial killers at every single college, ever. We also learned that he had bought the same K-bar knife and knife sheath off of Amazon, but they still haven't proved it with the receipts. Just a couple of months before he moved out to Pullman, which, again, they still haven't showed the invoice. They still haven't showed the order. They still haven't shown us anything. Oh my God, this stupid loser ass lady is saying that they have pings of Kohberger being in or around the area of King Road the 23 different times. We literally just went through all of this. Even with all the bullshit the Cyray has said, they can't prove any of this, which is the reason why so much of the cast report was removed by FBI agent Balance before it was actually submitted in its final form, because all of those pings they tried to say were false. False. Didn't it go from like 130 something pages down to like nothing? Like they literally took out like 90 pages of the draft of the cast report that showed all those pings that they lied about, and they're over here still acting like that's real information. This is crazy. Okay. Primarily based on digital forensics, that he left his apartment sometime after 2:30 a.m. and he drove from Pullman to Moscow, and that security cameras tracked that. No, it didn't. His cell phone data tracks with that. No, it doesn't. He turns off his phone shortly before 3 a.m. and he starts to prowl the area. And it's showing 11:12, but it's so freaking zoomed in, you can't even see the car in the driveway. Whoever puts these cuts in here are so bad. Whoever did this stuff with 11:12 should be ashamed of themselves just alone. And they keep doing the same thing, showing the car coming in, flipping the footage, shows the car coming in again, flips the footage again. It's really weirdly zoomed in and cut. Like it's only showing headlights instead of the car moving around. It's just really poorly done. And they're saying he went in through the second floor sliding glass door and went straight upstairs to Kaylee and Maddie's room. We don't know how long that took. But in short order, he came downstairs, encountered Xana Kernodle, had a struggle with her, in which she was also butchered, and after which he went into the room and murdered a sleeping Ethan. So this dumbass writer that wrote that Idaho book that came out in 2023 that I said when I saw it, I knew instantly it was a waste of space, waste of time, because it was in 2023 and shouldn't have been written, just said that the perp came down the stairs, basically killed Xana outside of her bedroom, because then he goes into the room and sees a sleeping Ethan and kills him, meaning that he wants you to believe that Kohberger killed Xana in the kitchen or the living room and then went into Xana's room where Ethan was sleeping through the entire thing, and then he was killed in his sleep. That's what this book author just said. Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all are so stupid. He then exited past Dylan Mortensen on his way out. I don't know what house they're showing in here. That's not the freaking Idaho house. What the hell was that? According to Dylan, made eye contact and saw her, and they're showing him with just his eyes and his eyebrows really zoomed in on the screen. Then he went back to his vehicle, and then you see the vehicle speeding off around 420. Here's Lauren again. He's leaving at such a high rate of speed, he almost loses control. He took a circular route, avoiding Pullman and cameras. He went through desolate countryside, south, and then up back to Pullman. His phone is then back on. We know he's back at the apartment based on cell phone pings. Shortly after returning at 5 or 6 a.m., he takes a selfie. He did not take a selfie at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, they're showing the actual picture. They're showing the real one from Celebrite that's not edited, where he has a green shirt on. I'm honestly very surprised. Honestly, very surprised. And he looks freshly scrubbed. His skin is pink. And again, that picture was not taken at 6 o'clock in the morning. Literally at all. It was like closer to 10, something like that. It's definitely closer to 10 o'clock. Oh, no, 6 o'clock in the hour. Yeah, the green Costco Albertson shirt. Yeah. Because when the state released that picture, they had him, his skin, his shirt, everything matching the linoleum in his shower. The fact that the state was allowed to produce a heavily edited photo makes no sense. His skin in that selfie is very clearly scrubbed hard to get rid of DNA or other kind of evidence. And he's looking at the camera and he's giving a thumbs up. His skin is not pink. He looks like a regular ass person. This dude is trying to say that when you look at Kohberger in this selfie, it looks like he took a freaking metal pad and just scrubbed the actual shit out of his entire everything. And he's just this entire pink, bright red color for being scrubbed so hard. That's not the truth. That is not the truth. Y'all need to knock your shit off. Knock your shit off. Oh my God. Y'all know the damn picture. His skin is not even pink. It's not even a little bit red. His hands are red because of how much he always washes his hands. But his face looks like he just washed it with normal scrub, like normal face wash, or washed it normally in a shower. It doesn't look like it was even scrubbed. There's no red marks on his face. Wow. Guy's crazy. No wonder he writes books. No wonder he writes books. So then Chief Dollinger says, we found the person who did this. We have him in custody. Our job isn't over, but it's more towards the end of the culmination of our portion of it. So when it transitions into the trial, that's us just working with the prosecutor's office as best as we can. Because remember, the prosecutor's office doesn't have their own investigators until Brett Payne came around. And they're showing the Ada County Courthouse. They're not showing anything about the Latell County Courthouse. It's all Ada County. Talking about the death penalty and how they went back to the firing squad. Okay, here's another ad. It's just so bad. This is all it takes to get a job in this industry is to just be like a loser who actually can't do anything right. Like, do I have to suddenly start sucking at everything that I try to do just to be able to make it somewhere? Because it seems like the harder I try to like make sure everything is on its P's and Q's, the more suppressed I get. So do I got to be this? Do I have to, this is what my work has to look like to get recognized? God damn. It's horrible. This is horrible. Oh my God, this is so bad. Okay, Ada County, Idaho. We're just going to skip over Latah County. We're going to skip completely over the change of venue. We're going to change all over everything. They're going to plop us right down in Ada County 2 years later with what sounds like Jeff Nye talking on the camera, asking to be brought in to help the prosecution. Trial was set to August. Lots of pre-trial motions. It's Josh Hurwitz that it is. Dude looks like Mark Zuckerberg, you know? He could be his long-lost twin. It wasn't Nye, it was the other guy. Come on. Local girl says there's all this evidence, CCTV, forensic DNA that places him at the scene. That's not true either. All this stuff starts just adding up. Defense team just keeps delaying everything. Tries to delay the court case out as long as they possibly can. Kohberger and his lawyer were submitting appeals to the court and trying to prevent the case from even going to trial. That's what a defense attorney does. He was a criminology student trying to play the system. He kind of thought he was like a Ted Bundy of sorts that had the knowledge or thought he had the knowledge, and he thought that he could get away with it. They just put all kind of crazy stuff on it. She said he was appealing to have his case dismissed. He thought he can get out of it. They also tried to move it. What do you mean tried to move it? It did move it. They also tried to move it. They did, dummy. This local lady is a big dumb shit. I'm going to make a video just about her. I'm going to dig into who she is and who she works for, how long her husband's worked at the university, all that shit. I'm about to dig into this Lauren dumb shit. For real, for real. So now they're talking about the plea. July 2025, the defense approached and said, is there any way for the case to be resolved short of the death penalty? And again, with that fake ass AI photo that doesn't look nothing like them. Yeah, he has to say this, this, and this and waive his rights. That was the only potential option that was ever considered. It was offered and accepted. So if there was any sort of Alford plea, he's not mentioning it. Hurwitz is the one talking. And now they're playing Judge Hippler talking, asking Kohberger the questions. Did you do all this with intent? Okay, so they're not making him Darth Vader when he says yes here. Blaker said he was in the room when he heard him say that he did. Here's Hippler again. I guess they're going to play him for everybody. Yeah. They're going to play him. They're going to play the voice clips from all of the did you on November 13th kill Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, and how the times that Kohberger said yes, they're playing it, but they're not showing the court. They could show the footage, but instead they're doing like a typewriter transcript on the screen. I hate this photo. If this day don't get this damn photo out of my face. How are they sitting there? They have shown, I don't even know how many different pictures of Kohberger now at this point, and haven't edited a single one. They made him sound like Darth Vader the one time, but they haven't edited literally anything else. Why are they editing to the point of And you know why it's really disrespectful? Because Kaylee was so disfigured that you couldn't recognize that who she was. So the fact that out of all of those photos, like Kaylee's face is so freaking drastically changed, that it gives an entire other level of completely tone deaf disrespect. I'm just tired of seeing it. I don't know why they chose to do that to that one picture, but they have used that damn photo more than any other photo in this damn series. Hurwitz says, I don't consider him to be a human like the rest of us. Oh, God, I'm freaking tired. And then they played the last part of Hitler. The author is back and said he did it, but we don't know how. He didn't give any answers to where the murder weapon was. We don't even know if he knew them at all or not. We know nothing about motivation. We know nothing. And we never will. The ex-FBI guy said, having dealt with people like this, they get this urge, they find this target or something that triggers something, and they feel it build up until they act on it. And now we have more ads. It's almost over. There's really not much left. Unbelievable. I'll end up going back through tonight and like listening to it one more time and taking like physical notes so that when we do a review video, I can have everything just already there without having to deal with it again. I'm just going to have it fresh today. But I don't want to do this tomorrow. We have interviews and reports to get back to. So I'll do a breakdown video of this after in a couple days. What was that? What the hell did he say? Okay, so the ex-FBI agent just said something really crazy. I didn't hear what he said, and now I had to go back, and now it's playing the ads again. But he says something about, did he see the girls walking home and something triggered in him, and he followed them back from the grub truck? That's what the ex-FBI dude just said. That's what the ex-FBI guy just said. Yeah, Yesie's, Sophie Whitehead, Kaylee McConkey, Tim DeWolf. There's 2 over on Outcast channel. We've missed a lot. Okay, the FBI guy said it could have been as simple as he passed them up on the street and it triggered something in him and he followed them home. He's giving a what if. He's been in the area of that house numerous times, starting as early as July. That is not true. Oh my God, that is not true. Did he set his schooling and his life and everything up just to be able to fill this need to learn the best on how to do it? Or the opposite, did his schooling and all this stuff lead him to a curiosity of doing it? He changes his plea to guilty. Then 2 weeks later, he's actually sentenced, July 23rd, 2025. Holy shit, that's today. Oh my God, that's today. I completely forgot that we were supposed to actually go over the sentencing today because this damn thing came out today. Oh my God, I completely forgot. Oh my God. Remember, we went over the plea change. I planned on going live and going back over the sentencing. I completely forgot. Oh my God. This was a big distraction. As pissed off as I got from this was a big distraction. I didn't even think about it. I just kept thinking in my mind, the 23rd is the show. The 23rd is the show. The 23rd is the show. I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, they're showing parts of the sentencing. So now they're going to play some parts of the statements. They're playing Steve first. They're not showing it though. It's Steve's voice and Moscow pieces of stuff, pictures of Kohberger, fake ass AI picture of the victims. And then again with like the transcript written in typewriter on the screen as Steve is talking. Steve sounds like nicer toned there. I bet you that they messed with it. Here comes Olivia. But yeah, they're not showing the parts from the court, which they could have. People say September 3rd is the deadline for the appeal, not the anniversary of the plea. That's when we have the deadline for the appeal. One type of appeal. Now here they are. They're playing the part where Olivia called him all kinds of names. Her speech was personal, but I don't really quite understand it because they claimed that they had to change everything so last minute. So I guess that's just really stuff that sort of just came out of Olivia's head. That's crazy. So they're talking about him being in jail now, and they're showing clips of him being in jail, and it's the leaked footage of him being in jail that no one ever got in trouble for. Remember, we were told that the person that recorded it was no longer working for the jail by the time that footage came out, so nothing happened to the person. That's probably why the person who like did the Dateline leak, there's probably not going to be anybody getting in trouble. But yeah, they're showing the leaked footage of him being in jail. The Lauren girl said he's almost 30. He'll spend 60 years in a box. Gary Jenkins says he's nothing but a heartless killer. I wish he would have gotten the death sentence. This is the next best thing, is having him in prison for the rest of his life. The best way that we can help is to make sure people get held accountable. Well, y'all could try by telling the truth. You know, that would help a lot. Is this how this is going to end? There's not long left. There's like 3 minutes. One of the biggest things about Kaylee and Maddie is that they were like sisters. You see pictures of them when they were young and together. I'm surprised they're showing pictures and videos of them that aren't completely edited. Because they're showing now like original pictures from social media. Why do they only edit that one? Yeah, all the pictures of like Xana and Ethan together and Maddie and Kaylee together, they're not edited. Their faces look fine. The last post Kaylee made before the murders was the picture that has been made famous. And that's another reason why it's so disrespectful. That picture became the face of this case. That picture became the iconic logo for this case. And for them to take it and completely distort their faces, they're doing so many things. There's so many levels of disrespect to what they actually did with that photo. It's crazy. This author guy is annoying. There's the local girl. They've demolished the King Road house. The owner gave it to the university. The university decided we're tearing it down. We're going to get rid of it. It helped with the closure of this case. Moscow will always be changed because of this, but ultimately the spirit of the university and the fact that it is a college town, it will bounce back. But there's always going to be a heaviness surrounding the place. And they're doing it again, the same slideshow of the memorial in the same order. These editors suck. It's important to remember the victims for who they were, not just how they died. We're never going to forget those 4 students, as the last scene of the damn series is the highly edited photo of all 4 of them. That doesn't even look like them. I don't know who the hell that girl is. That's not Xana. That's not Maddie. That's not Kaylee. And that damn sure is not Ethan. And that is the photo that this damn thing ends with. Oh my God. That is the damn photo that it ends with. That is so gross. Unbelievable. This thing was highly disappointing. Highly disappointing. But also, this is what we expected. We expected it for it to be highly disappointing because they never give a shit. If they're going to sit there and distort the victims' faces, it's not surprising that they are okay with leaving bullshit in it, like how the knife sheath was found on Kaylee's bed or her and Maddie were actually killed. There's so much that they got wrong here. So many different people working on this to try to make to get this little project done, and they can't even double check their work. They can't even double check and make sure that their stuff is right. It's just pathetic. The whole thing is just pathetic. Not impressed. I'm really aggravated. Again, if you guys signed up for the free trials to be able to watch these 2 piece of shit episodes, make sure that you cancel those memberships. My God. This was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm going to try to see if there's a way that I can get these episodes out to you guys. I don't know if I can put them somehow on like the Idaho 4 Deep Dive Archive channel, because it's not monetized. Like, because I just started it, so it's not even like in the algorithm yet. So I wonder if I can like flip them and reverse them and do what I normally do for YouTube, but since they're, and leave them not monetized, and maybe it'll let them play. I know that when I tried to upload the Dateline one to just like hold it there for storage before I could actually like get to it, it instantly blocked it. Where'd the freaking fly come from? They instantly blocked it. Like I can see it, but even if it's like unlisted to where I can give the link to somebody else and they can watch it, it doesn't, it doesn't work because it's blocked. But I don't know. I'd like to try to figure out how to get those out, really, you know, so that you guys can actually see this stuff if you haven't, because it doesn't deserve your money. It doesn't deserve your credit card information, but people definitely need to see how pathetic this is. And like I said, we're going to end up doing a breakdown of everything. I just don't want to do it tomorrow or even the next day or the next day. Maybe we'll wait until, I don't know, Sunday or maybe even Monday. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I will, but it'll probably be just like something in like a video form that's short, to the point, with receipts and out there. Probably something less than 15 minutes just to point out what the rants are here in the lives. I need to keep the videos to just the very specific information and leave it completely factual so that people will pay attention. I just can't believe all the dumb shit. How's that local girl gonna sit there and do all that mouth bumping for nothing, just to get so many things wrong while she's out here bitching about people like me that are out here reading documents and trying to actually figure shit out and trying to answer questions? We're the bad guys. We're the bad guys, as local chick is trying to sneak up to the house and gets all kinds of information wrong. I'm going to take a bubble bath. I'm going to light a lemon candle and take a lavender bubble bath and watch something stupid just to get my mind off of how dumb all this is. And next week we get to do it all over again. Yay. Yay. I don't think I'm going to take any breaks for the Netflix one, though. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous because it's 4 episodes, which means double the amount of time. But I didn't really want this to be like an all-day thing. And so I think when we go live next Wednesday to watch the Netflix one, we're just going to watch the whole damn thing. And I'm just going to do it the way that I said before, where I'm just going to play like my little 5-minute intro in between the episodes. And we're just going to knock them all out on one day. And I'll just end up being live for like 8 or 9 hours, I guess, because we're going to talk about them in between. And the episodes are about 45 minutes to 50 minutes long. But as long as we take a little, intervention or whatever, what do you call it? Intermission. As long as we do an intermission, I think it'll be okay. And that's probably the better way to do it instead of waiting all these hours in between. We're just going to do one live time and push through it. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm hoping this was crap. This wasn't even old shit. This was just shit that they made up. This was just shit that they pulled out of their own butt. I don't even understand. Oh my God, it's so bad. It is so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, that's another thing. There's footage that they're using in these that are not the house. They're not Bryan's apartment. They showed when they're talking about Dylan, like hearing things and seeing the person in the house, they're showing a house I've never seen before in my entire life. And there's some sort of like weird embroidered something about frogs or turtles. I don't freaking know. It's like right there on the wall. And it has like a dining room with a table with like a candle on it, like an actual dining table. I'm like, where is this footage coming from? Where is this footage coming from? But there was another show. Was it a show or was it like a big time YouTuber? I think it was that dumbass coffee house crime channel that when they did their horribly done video on this case, they showed a bunch of footage of the Moscow area and the neighborhoods that wasn't even Moscow. It was like stock footage. They used a lot of crap stock footage in this too. There's so much real footage out there, though. Like, there's no reason for that. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, I'm getting off of here. And I'm going to go, like I said, take a bubble bath and try to relax. This is so frustrating. But again, I'm off tomorrow. I try to take PTO like every other Friday. So I'm off tomorrow. We're going to go live and start going over interviews. And we'll do at least one of the expert reports tomorrow because we still have so many that we need to read, factual, actual evidence stuff. We still have Slavinsky's, who's the cell phone analysis guy that brought Cy-Ray into the entire situation. Ruth Ballard, that has a bunch of DNA information for each, like, other individual items. And some of the information, when we were skimming through it, definitely was new information, definitely was different information. Leah Larkin's full entire IgG report. Like, there's a lot of that stuff that we need to listen to on top of, like, 6 interviews that I can think of right now. Like, there's a lot. So we're gonna start all of that tomorrow. We'll just spend as much of the weekend as possible trying to catch up on interviews and expert reports so that come Monday, hopefully we're caught up pretty decently and we can just go ahead and do a recap in maybe like the early afternoon hours for this thing. And then we'll do our Moscow. Oh no, that's our members only. That's our members only Monday. So we'll do our members only Monday live in the early afternoon on Monday and do our members only Monday. Oh my God, I'm start over, Jules. We'll do our members only Monday live around like 3:45 on Monday afternoon. And then after the members only Monday, we'll do our Moscow Monday live where we go over the next report in the MPD files. So then Tuesday mornings live, we'll do a recap or I'll do a video posting of this. That's how I'm thinking in my mind. And I also have to remember I have to do my UFO live on Sunday. But yeah, we're going to really try to hustle to get through a bunch of stuff. All right, I'm going to get off here. Like I said, stop ranting and raving. Thanks for being here and listening to me talk shit about this stupid documentary. It's so bad. So bad. But you guys have a super great night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Try to get some rest. Try to not get too frustrated. This one was nowhere near as bad as this morning's. This morning's I cried a little bit. I really got really frustrated because this isn't fair that they're still hiding and lying about the timeline whenever we don't know anything about where Ethan and Xana was for a long ass time. I mean, a long time. It's just not right. It's just not right. So I definitely need a little bit of a break. So thank you again for being in here with me. I will see you guys tomorrow. See y'all.